How you doing?
How you doing, Mark?
How you doing?
50 on the
I'm waiting on you.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Having a hard time hearing you a little bit.
I say that again.
I was having a hard time hearing you.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. I hear you, but it's distorted.
Yeah, it is.
It's distorted.
Fix that.
Huh?
You hear me? Yeah, it's coming to a little distorted.
That sounded a little better. What about right now? Say something. I can hear the kids in the back fine. It's just you. I hear the kids loud and clear. I could make out everything they saying. I just can't make out nothing you saying.
How
Now I
about
can't
now?
see. Now, yeah, it's better. You got to
Yeah,
just stand still. Yeah, there you go. Just stop.
yeah, better.
Stop right there. Stop. Stop moving. Okay. Stop. All right, there you go.
All right,
All right, stop moving.
all right,
All right, there you go. All right.
all right.
what's all right? What's going on?
Hey, appreciate. Well, I just want to chime in. Recently, started my trucking business. Me and my wife. We started it actually June 8th. We got everything set up. Got our MC. We actually got our authority on the 7th of July, and so I started running our box truck on the 16th for rental. So my question is that I'm to the point where I want to go ahead and buy a truck, and I hear I'm getting a lot of feedback versus buying a more expensive truck versus just trying to buy a truck flat out. Essentially, right now, they wanted me to put down like 40% down on the truck, which if I bought one, $30,000, that'd be $11,000 versus if I just bought one for maybe $20,000 that was really good and just start running that versus trying to spend leasing one for like $39,000, $40,000.
You say you renting a truck right now?
Yep,
What? Who through Enterprise or
taxing me.
what? Who you renting it to?
Right now I'm through Ryder,
What you paying for it? I know they hitting you upside the head.
like 624 a week, 16 cents a mile, and they
That ain't bad.
actually I just got a thing. I just got an email. They want to go up to 18 cents a mile starting Monday.
Well, 16 cent a mile ain't bad. 624 a week, that ain't bad either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I mean, tell them no. You don't want to go up to 18 cent a mile. Tell them you want to pay 16 cent a mile, or you gonna bring the truck
gotcha.
back, and that should solve that problem. I don't think they'll
Gotcha.
lose
Yeah.
you for 2 cent. I mean, if they do, then just take your thing to Enterprise and tell them to match it.
Right. Right. Right.
Uh, Now, as far as buying a truck, I wouldn't recommend buying an expensive truck. You know, what are you doing? You doing OTR, right?
Yep. OTR.
Okay.
Well, that's what I've been doing. I mean, I'm only my first run I started on the 16th, so that's how far I am. I haven't even been a month yet. I've, I've done pretty good in these first couple of weeks, but most of
Where
the
you?
runs have been OTR. I'm from Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. You from Milwaukee? What radius? You got a radius, or like where have you ran to?
Uh, well, initially, I was trying to stay about 500 miles,
Hmm.
but was starting out new. I wouldn't. I was trying to be choosy. Well, this route and that route. But as they started coming up, I said, you know what? I'm gonna take that route to Nevada. I'm gonna get that route to Texas.
So you want to buy a truck? Who you was looking at to buy the truck from? Penske.
Well, not necessarily. I've been hearing a lot of back and forth about the trucks not being too reliable. So I just been doing a
What
lot of
trucks?
research
What
online.
trucks? What trucks not being too reliable?
Well, the trucks that they sell aftermarket.
The trucks that who sell aftermarket?
That Penske.
That's not always true. I think some people have bad experiences, some people don't. That's all depends on you and who you take to or who you send to diagnose the truck. I think everybody's situation is different. I've heard good stories, I've heard bad stories. Some people that have bad stories didn't get a diagnosis on their truck. They just bought it blind off the internet.
Right.
Some people send companies to, if they buying a truck online from another market, they'll send a company to go out there and diagnose the truck and send them a report. If you're buying a local truck, you should take somebody with you, a mechanic with you to diagnose the truck. I disagree with that. Everybody's experiences ain't the same. As many trucks as I've bought, I've had one truck that really gave me an issue, and it wasn't like a powertrain. It was electrical.
Right.
You know, I had one truck that really gave me a hard time, and it was an electrical issue. But every truck that I bought used, I took somebody with me. So, and we
And
spent
just
the
generally,
whole day. So I disagree. A lot of people that buy trucks online, they buy them in the blind, and they don't want to invest the money into a local company that can go out there and diagnose it and send them a report. That's on them.
right. Okay. Definitely recommend spending the money on the on the forefront to make sure vet it out, make sure you get the
And I'm gonna be honest with you. If you buying a used truck, eventually it's gonna break down. If you buy a new truck, it's gonna break down. I bought new and used. I bought new cars and some shit went wrong on them.
Right. Yeah. And
You
generally
know,
in my life, I've always had pretty good deal with cars. What not to cut you off, but what do you think a good starting mileage is for a mileage is for a good used vehicle, good used truck?
2 to 3.
2, 3.
Less than I wouldn't go over 300. Me personally, if I was shopping for a 26 footer right now. I mean, you're in Milwaukee, so there's plenty of trucks in the area. You could come down here to Chicago. There's plenty of trucks. You know, you're gonna have people on the internet. Oh man, those trucks are rusted. We live in the Midwest. Like I
Yeah,
don't
you're
care
gonna
about
find
rust
rust.
and
Yeah.
all that. You're gonna find rust. So you got people that's on the internet that don't live where we live. Like people from down south. Oh, wow, those trucks up there rusted. Everything up here is rusted. We live in the Midwest. Like
Right.
I don't let shit like that. It's a work truck. Like that shit ain't gonna be pretty. If it's pretty, like like that motherfucker should look like it's been working.
Right.
Snow up here, salt. So trucks up here gonna have a little rust, gonna have a little salt, but it's a lot of trucks up here to choose from. So you can go over to Melrose Park. You can come down here and get a truck. It's trucks up there. It's trucks all around.
Okay. All right. We definitely
Listen,
think about
all
going
my
with
trucks,
the
all my trucks have came from here, this market. I never went outside the market. Now, the trucks that I bought here, they may have came from auctions from the truck dealer that I bought when I was buying trucks. They may have came from outside the market, but at the end of the day, they operated here. So I know you're going over the road, but you're trying to stay within this radius. So
Right.
if you're gonna stay in the Midwest, you're gonna deal with the element. So you're not gonna escape it.
No, no doubt, no doubt. And plus, I'm also thinking about too. I'm thinking about the future too. I'm also, planning on scaling up at some point. So, I want to think about getting the first truck, to step to the second truck too.
Yes, I mean it's up to you, man. Some people go buy expensive truck and then they be crying talking about cheap freight and shit. But when I look at their books, they paying $3,500 for a truck note.
Right.
$3,000 for a truck note. Another $2,500, $3,000 for insurance.
Yeah, that's another thing too with insurance. I definitely wanted to hit your link on some better insurance because right now I'm working through Progressive and they definitely kind of taxing me, especially with the having the rent.
You ain't got no broker.
Exactly.
That's why
Insurance broker.
that's why you getting taxed.
Okay. Well,
You
I
went
did go to a broker. I didn't go directly through Progressive. I went
yeah
to
yeah. How long did they have when you went to them? Did they presented that policy to you within 48 hours?
pretty much.
Probably a day. That's why they ain't work. They didn't do nothing. They sat down. You came to them. They said you need insurance. They went straight to Progressive and they gave you something. You said okay. A real broker ain't gonna get back to you that quick. It's gonna take at least a week. If they getting back to you in 24 hours, they did no work.
Gotcha.
My broker ain't never came back to me in a day. At least take a week and a half. You can't shop all these insurance companies in a day. They sat down, they went straight to progressive.com and they showed you some shit. And you said okay.
Pretty much.
And that's why you paying what you paying.
Well, how do I get in contact with your broker?
Oh man, I don't just give my broker out. I give it out to people that I have a relationship with. I've seen them in my Discord. They MGM members, So
That's it.
yeah, so it's my first time meeting you. If I gave everybody my broker, I just can't do it, bro. I'm sorry. But the people that I have given my broker and helped them out, it's people that have been watching the channel. I have a rapport with them. So
Gotcha. Well, I'm a long time watcher, first time caller, as they say. But
yeah, see, you got to be in tune. You can't be watching from the shadows, pimp. Can't be watching from the shadows.
Well, that's why I'm getting out here. Asking these live questions. Trying to get some live information.
Then that they say what's the saying?
Closed mouths don't get fed.
That one, and that's another one. So I can't think of. It's on the tip of my tongue right now. But you get what I'm going.
Yeah, I get where you're going for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna have to get a broker, pimp. You're gonna have to get a broker. Let me stop calling you pimp. You got more gray hair than me. Let me respect. How old are you?
54.
Yeah, let me stop calling you pimp. It's all good. Yes, sir. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to.
Well, trust me.
Sir.
I understand that analogy. It's all good.
Yeah. You from Milwaukee. Pimpin' Ken. Y'all players up there. You grew up in Milwaukee?
No, actually, I grew up kind of all over. I never lived in one city for more than 3 years until after I got out of the service.
Where you originally from?
I was born in Chicago.
Oh, well, then you understand the lingo.
Like I said, I understand.
Chicago, Milwaukee, it's all some players. We all players. I like Milwaukee more. I like Milwaukee more than I like Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Milwaukee. Some real players up there in Milwaukee. Detroit, I like Detroit, but oh no. I'll be picking on Detroit. They get mad too. They be getting mad.
Well, Chicago, my wife's favorite city.
I know it's everybody's favorite city. Yeah, we some players down here, But yeah, man, you gotta stick around, man, because if I gave everybody my broker, it'd be wasting my broker's time. You know how many people come and fail? I just can't be bombarding my broker with nonsense. You gotta show me you really.
I totally get it.
Yeah, you gotta show me that you gotta be active, man. I'm gonna be like one day. I'm gonna be like, all right, man, let me see what I can do for you. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give you that holy grail. Man. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. Now, that ain't for everybody, but for most people, it's different because he gonna work for you. See, these brokers, you probably got you like a little young whippersnapper. The more money you pay insurance, the bigger his residual payment is. They working off commission, they working off a commission. So it's not in their best interest, especially a young one, to help save you money. My broker been in the business over 30 years. He made his money.
Yeah.
So
Now I'm doing the play. Now I'm doing the playback, and he had to keep. Hold on 1 second. Let me get somebody else to answer that question and get some advice and stuff like
oh,
that.
that's what he was saying to you in the conversation?
He
Yeah.
was
See,
pretty new.
a young buck. So he went straight to progressive.com and set up your policy. A broker that's really working for you is not going to come back to you within 24 hours. If your broker coming back to you within 24 hours, he went straight to progressive. It should take a week. At least a week. Because what happens is he's going to do a profile on you. He's going to present that profile to the insurance companies, to all of them, or as many of them he wants to present to. Then they're going to present a proposal. Then when those proposals come back, he's going to look at all of them and see how he can piece it together to ultimately get you everything you need at an affordable rate. If he takes, my policy is 3 different insurance companies on my core. I got one company for GL, one company for commercial auto, one company for cargo. So he had to look at everything that came back, look at the individual rates in comparison to going with this company for everything. Some companies don't cover everything. And piece everything together to get the best rate. That takes time because you have to wait for everything to come back. The only thing you're going to get like that is real quick is progressive. And like I said, that broker didn't work for you. That was a lazy broker, a novice broker. He's trying to make as much money off of you as possible.
Makes sense. Yeah. So the goal is when we buy our truck to definitely renegotiate the insurance.
How much are you paying now?
About $1,100 a month.
$1,100 a month?
Yeah.
That ain't bad. Especially for
we started out with we got it to rent a vehicle. We had to get certain coverage so we can rent a vehicle, $80,000 value, all this extra stuff. So essentially, then what happened is when I rented the vehicle through Penske first, and when I changed the rental through Ryder, the insurance actually went down because of a different vehicle.
Right. That's what I was going to ask you. What year, make, and model vehicle you got?
So initially, I got the insurance on a 2019 Freightliner. The insurance was $1,400 a month. Mm-hmm. Then when we actually changed and got the Penske vehicle, it stayed the same.
But you got international now?
The Ryder vehicle. Yeah, international, it went down to $1,100. Yeah,
see, I already knew it was the international when you say it went down. What year is the international? Like a 22, 23?
No, it's a 2024, and actually it's a reefer.
Okay. So 1,100 ain't bad. I mean, you're older gentlemen, so I mean, if you got an older vehicle, yeah, it'll be less than that. Yeah. Like if you got like a 2015 or 2016 or 2012 or even older than that.
Yeah. And the key was I tried to hire a driver, and I had a driver who didn't have a good record, and my insurance went up like.
Wait. You got a job? What you do for a living?
I was the area manager for Valvoline.
You still work?
Nope.
Well, how you trying to start a box truck business and you ain't even been in business a month talking about you trying to hire a driver?
Well, originally that was the plan, to hire a driver to actually drive the truck.
No, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, I figured that out very quickly.
No, sir. No. Come on, man. How can you build a business if you don't know what the hell you're doing?
I figured that
See,
out.
Man, you gonna make me talk. See, I'm trying to give you this little extra. You said 57, right? 57, 54. So you got 9 years on me. All right, so you ain't too far off now. You ain't too far off.
There was a bigger plan. There was a bigger plan. I wasn't just gonna hire the driver and let him go. The goal was
the goal. Tell me the plan.
Hire, for instance, have the driver on deck. Because what I was going to do was I was going to continue working, and actually, take, a lot of time off from work. I understand the plan, but that was the plan. But
you said you've been watching me a long time.
Yeah. So
So
I
if you've been
know
watching,
what you.
I mean, you doubted Big Mark. You doubted Big Mark, and you had to go see for your. Why y'all doubt Big Mark, man? Why? Just listen. See, you was one of them ones like, dang, this Mark said this shit was gonna happen. Why I gotta be like that? Why I gotta be like that? Is it because I'm black? It's hard to trust another brother. Is it because I'm black? What is it? What is it? Tell me. Why you had to learn the hard way instead of learning the right way and just listen to Big Mark?
Touche.
Hard head made a soft behind.
Yeah, it was a tough week.
I know it was. You can't start this business. You got to go out here at least a year. How can you train? How can you? You couldn't even train a driver because you didn't know what the hell you was doing. You just put him in the seat and said, "Here you go. Here go the keys. Go be great."
No, actually, he rode for a while first.
He rode
I
with
had to
who?
ride
You?
for a couple of days. Yeah.
Shit. You said you started the 16th of July.
Yeah, I've been driving the whole time.
It ain't even the 16th of August yet. So when did this happen?
I know.
Well, this happened the first week.
Yeah, that was the first week. That was the very first week.
So he was riding with you. You weren't training. You was learning yourself. You try to. Y'all both in the truck. Just don't. Y'all both in the truck with the dunce hat on. He looking at you. You looking at him. You hoping he got answers for you.
Well, I'm a pretty quick study.
Well, who you studying? You out there trying to figure it out.
No, you're right. You're right.
No, man, you gotta go out there. You said the area field manager for Valvoline? Now you're supposed to be smarter than that now. Nah, man, you gotta go out there for at least a year. And see, I don't like when y'all. See, I like when y'all just say, "Man, Mark, I listen to you and everything is going according to plan." Like I don't like when y'all come up here and say, "Man, I've been watching you a long time," and then you got to learn the hard way. Come on, brother. You're supposed to be from Chicago, born and raised. Dang, man, Jesus Christ, man. All right, man. So what you want from me, bro? What do you want from me?
You just gave it to me.
What you want? You need to go out. I don't know. Valvoline area field man, that sounds like 150 at least. It's 150 at least. I ain't trying to get all in your business, but it's a buck 50.
It was less than that.
It's less than that. About 100 and something, right? 100, give or take. That's a lot. That's a lot to sacrifice.
That's a lot of work too.
This gonna be whatever you do as area field manager. I can make a blind bet. It's gonna be more work.
But it'll be for me.
Oh Lord, you an Xer. I don't usually hear that in Xers.
But what I'm saying is it'll be for me, but also too, a paycheck is, it don't matter how much money you put in when your salary, it's still this.
What you mean?
It's still the same amount. I can't do, plus I can't do both.
You don't get an increase every year? How long you been at Valvoline?
Man, I mean, salary, them kind of jobs don't work like that.
How long you been there? I'm just trying to figure out if you close to retirement. If you going to be able to retire from there.
Let's say I started at Valvoline in 07.
07? So you're approaching 20 years? What was your goal?
55.
So one more year?
Less than. My goal is 55 to have the business up and running and walking away from that.
But what's your retirement plan walking away less than 20?
My retirement plan, well, for one, I'm not necessarily retiring, but my retirement plan is other businesses.
But I'm saying if you that close where you could walk away and still have that coming in and do the box truck thing.
I haven't been So when see the thing about it is with Valvoline, so you don't when you work for different franchises, you ain't working for one. So you can't put everything in totality together and say 20 years. Yeah, I started in Valvoline in '07, but I worked for different franchises. So my money is not tied to staying there and retiring from that particular franchise. If that makes sense.
But it's going to be a penalty, right?
Well, there's always a penalty.
Before what year?
55.
You'll be 55 next year, but you ain't got to put 20,
In March.
25, 30? Huh?
No, because it's a different when you're thinking about a pension and a 401k.
Okay. You said 07, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, go get your truck and go over the road. I mean, hiring a driver, I don't like. You should have known better if you've been watching this channel. I don't know why y'all think y'all can get. Stop listening to these guys that's talking about this stream of revenue stuff. They don't know what they're talking about. You can't train nobody if you don't know what the hell you're doing.
No, that's true.
So you need to go out there for at least a year.
But also had a driver that wasn't brand new.
So
I get what you're saying.
Let me cut you off. What that got to do with you? Because he could have worked, let's say, for me, and I'm a sucky owner. But guess what? He worked for a sucky owner. So the results that he got were sucky because I was sucky. So
the results all good.
Now he says, okay, he worked for me for 5 years, but guess what? He was a sucky person because the owner was sucky. So 5 years doesn't mean nothing because that was under my suckiness. You see what I'm saying? So as a business owner, you should have your own standard operating procedures. It's just like Walmart and Target. If you worked at Walmart for 10 years and you went over to Target, they're going to hire you, right? Because you have big box retail experience, but they're still going to do what?
Train you.
Train you to what?
Their standard.
Exactly. Why? Because you may have a lot of bad habits from over there. And you're just going to trust that just because that person was over there, that they're good? Nah. Just because you did it 5 years don't mean you was good at it.
Right.
Come
yeah,
on,
and granted, the guys that I was hiring was somebody that I was familiar with and I worked with in the past. So it wasn't a
them the worst
work
ones.
ethic.
Them the worst ones.
It honestly wasn't necessarily a work ethic situation. It was more of a situation when I looked at the math at the end of the week and I just decided, you know what, I want to make a little more profit.
Well, we can get to that, but we can get to that. Go ahead. We can get to that.
But also too, it was somebody that I was willing to allow to grow with the business. No, I get it, and of course, and learn as I learn. It wasn't at no point was I going to turn it over to
So
them.
you rather spend more money to learn because you're spending more money to go through the learning curve. It'll be you're gonna lose money. You're gonna spend that money on that learning curve, but you adding an employee to the fold, which is more money.
Absolutely.
So what when you say you want to increase your profit margin, like what you expecting to make when you got a driver in the seat with one truck?
Well, that was the thing with renting a truck. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I probably didn't do the math correctly with counting in the mileage. And that was the one thing that I didn't equate.
I'm listening.
Is that mileage. And when you hit 5,000 miles in a week.
You hit 5,000 miles in a week?
Yeah.
Where'd y'all go?
We went to California
Wait,
through
wait, wait, wait,
Texas.
wait, wait. You were running a log?
Yeah, we had actually my first week we got a $6,000 run for like 3,000 miles.
Some don't sound right.
What don't sound right?
Some ain't adding up.
Let's do the math.
I'm doing it in my head. It is kind of late, so that's why I'm making sure. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. When I do these late live streams, sometimes I don't be as sharp as I do early in the day.
So the first week we logged. We ran from Monday till Wednesday, so it was probably about 10 days. In that 10-day stretch, we did about
See
6,000
that
miles.
I knew someone right. You ain't doing your logs right. How you run that many days?
Well, we were team driving too.
All right, I'm not. Okay. So you ran from Milwaukee, you said, to California?
We ran from Indiana to California.
So when you say you wanted to make more money, what's your cost? Walk me through what it cost you, and what you paid him, and
I paid him for driving. We paid him 37 cents a mile. Our breakdown for gas. Oh, and then also too, when he was helping, when he wasn't driving, I paid him 22 cents a mile.
what's your cost per mile?
$1.25.
So what did you make? I'm just listening to the math. I'm not even gonna add all this stuff up in my head, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't feel like going into it right now.
That first week was also them. We made about $1,800.
That was what was left after you paid everything.
Yeah.
And you said that wasn't enough for you?
Well, compared to what we spent, compared to what we made that week.
What'd you make? Gross.
About 8,000. About 8,000.
Okay, so what you think the margin should be?
Well, I could have eliminated a few things like the mileage, and that was a couple of things. For instance, that was things that did, like getting a less expensive truck, right? Getting a less expensive truck, cutting out the driver. Of course, not going to be able to drive as many miles.
What do you think you're gonna make? Hold on. If you're complaining about that, you put one person in the seat. What you think you're gonna gross on average a week?
Well, we can be around between $4,000 to $5,000 a week.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if I'm lucky.
Reasonable,
like I said,
you know what the average trucker, you know what the average box trucker is making. I can tell you what the average box trucker is, and it's not a guess. I got
3,000.
All right then. So what you think after all expenses you gonna take from that? If 18 and you ran all the way through, you didn't even stop. You ran 10 straight days. What you think you're gonna make if you ran a normal week?
With those expenses, not much. But with less than my expenses.
What would you like your margin to be? And I can tell you if it's realistic or not. I don't care what you running, what type of equipment, what your nothing. Just tell me what you want your margin to be.
About 28, about 28%.
OTR? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Unrealistic?
You talking about with a driver in there?
No, not a driver. With me driving.
How you come up with that?
Basically, I just old school math. I just took all my expenses. I kind of what I've been doing over this first few weeks is tracking my mileage and like how much I've been spending on gas, figuring like how much what my miles per gallon is. Broke down how much I would be spending per gas, on gas per, what percentage on gas, and took all those expenses, insurance, my rental truck, prospective mileage, and the rest it leaves me about it was roughly 26 to 28%. It was like 27 and some change.
And what you looking at as far as like a truck and insurance?
Well, essentially that's the thing. With us buying a truck, I know the insurance is gonna go down. So the thing about it is, though,
That depends on the truck you buy.
Right, it depends on the truck I buy, and essentially, if the truck right now my insurance is based on is a newer model truck. If I buy a truck, I'm looking for something that's if I finance a truck, it would have to be 2018 or newer. If I purchase the truck myself, which I'm really thinking about, is trying to find something between $15,000 and $20,000 and just buying it outright. That'll also lessen my insurance, but also minimize a monthly payment.
And you gonna drive the truck?
Yep.
If you get an older truck, your insurance decreases. It's a possibility, but you're gonna have to be behind the wheel. You don't want to be behind the wheel.
Well, not forever, but at the end of the day, I do want to grow the business. And what I've learned is just that, especially from being out here and dealing with some of the brokers and that being an owner operator, it does scream a little louder, and it allows me to try to create a name for the business, so that when and if we do scale up, and get, because my goal is to still drive a truck, even when I get two trucks, me drive one and have a driver drive another one, not to replace me as a driver, but that way I don't have to drive as much over the road.
So, what's your thoughts right now after being out there for 3 weeks?
I mean, I see the difficulties, but I also see the opportunities.
So
I ain't gonna lie. Yes, I know it's hard work. Anything worth doing is gonna be hard work. It's just about being patient and being diligent and really just sticking. Not jumping out there like I have been, but slowing back and working with my wife and making sure that we're attacking it together.
Your wife is out there with you, or what's she doing? Because
No,
you keep
she's
saying
not.
your wife. She the dispatcher.
Well, that's going to be hopefully the goal eventually. But right now, she's just making sure that all the books, everything stay in line, everything I pay for, all our, when it comes tax time, we ain't gonna have no problems.
I don't know, man. You making me nervous.
And she does want to dispatch. That'll be part of the goal. That way we don't have to pay. That's 7%.
So what you want? What you want from me?
The same thing you've been doing. Well, the one question I had is when I called was just about the vehicle, about the truck, which you answered. Um, Otherwise, the good dialogue we've been having, just pretty much, hit me smack in the face, let me know where I need to be, and then just stay on point.
I don't think you don't want to be in a truck. See, that's the thing. I think you should. You already in the rental. I think you should look for a truck. If you seriously want to do this, continue to look for a truck. Rent the truck because your rate is pretty good, at least to the remainder of this month. That way you can get some more experience since you already in the truck. And then I obviously proactively continue to look to buy a truck, but you need to commit to a year. And I don't think you want to commit to a year. The way you just came in and threw somebody out there, it's too anxious.
But that was also at first because I was working, but also too I was trying to move too quickly. I'm thinking like crap. If I get going, I can rent 2 trucks.
No, that's even worse. You say you've been
All
watching me
right,
for a long time? It don't sound like
because
it.
because I have been watching. Of course, when you've been watching a person, you can kind of get all. You think you think you got it all in your head, and you can actually you got it all written down. You can actually, but it don't, and I realized in that first week it don't all work like that. So
Well,
yeah, I have been listening.
why did it have to take you to go out there instead of? See, this is the problem I don't understand. Why you just didn't listen and accept it? Like I've been doing content long enough that it ain't like I'm just saying it's case studies that come up. Like
I should have just did it. I should have just did everything I just did, but by myself.
But then you talk about I could just go get 2 trucks now. Like what? You ain't even mastered the first.
That was the original. That was the original thought pattern with getting him started with me. Trust me, my wife's sitting here. My wife's sitting here.
Forget that dude. Forget that dude. Forget that dude. Forget that dude. I want to say something else. I want to say something that start with What can I say it? Because your wife right there. I don't want to disrespect your wife.
Because trust me, I charge him. Trust me, I charge him. He was mad because I charged him expenses at the end of
Yeah, you need to be out there for a year, man. You need to learn the ins and the outs. Man, you can't put nobody in the truck if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Period. And if you go buy this truck within the next 30 to 45 days, you have to commit to it. So that means away from your wife, away from your kids, that means out learning the business. You can't put somebody into the truck until you can fully train them. The ins and outs of the business from your scope.
Yeah, sometimes when you've been training people for so long, you can just, sometimes you just think you can just train something new from the hip.
Yeah, well, that's Valvoline. That ain't trucking.
I know.
That ain't,
I got to learn it myself before I can teach it.
You got to learn it. You got to go through the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs. You wouldn't even know if somebody was finessing you or not because you don't know the business. You don't know it from the field. They could be telling you one thing, it could be another. You wouldn't know. A year. You need a year. A year will get you enough to at least not be deceived. Sure. Still a lot of learning to do.
Definitely.
Yeah, so a year,
man. I'm all for it.
A year. Yeah, so I would run this truck at least to the end of the month. Yeah, still proactively look for a truck, but when you do go get a truck, like you got the truck, now you got to recoup. Because I would recommend if you got enough money, just go ahead and cash out and just get it out the way, recoup that money, right? Keep working. Shouldn't take you long to recoup that money if you out there grinding. Right. Especially with the budget that you looking to get a truck, shouldn't take that long. And just keep grinding for a year. And then at a year, then come back to the table and assess everything. If you've done everything right and you've mastered that first truck, then you should have plenty of money in the business account for the business to go ahead and scale at that point. But I would at least give it a year.
Well, mark the date. Mark the date. I'll be back on here in a year. We'll have to do it live.
Yeah, man. Slow down, man. You moving too quick. You excited. And like if you've been watching me for a year, forget just everything I said. Look at all the stories that people have come up and told their stories similar to yours. It's people that's done came up with a lot of money, a little money. Think about the people that's done came up with a shit ton of money. We've had people that come up with 6 figures and failed. Because of the ignorance. So What else you got for me?
That's all I got tonight.
Man, you sound defeated, man. I don't like that.
No, I'm
You
not.
sound like
I'm
you
good.
sound
I'm
let
good.
down.
No, I'm not. I'm ready. I'm ready to lock in for this year. I'm got my bag packed. Got my cooler ready to get on the road tomorrow. I already got runs locked in for Tuesday. Going to Pennsylvania.
You got a radius?
Right now, I'm OTR.
I'm saying, do you have a radius that you run? You just willy nilly with it.
I'm willy nilly with it.
Why are you willy nilly with it?
Well, no, I'm not really willy nilly. But this week we're going over the road. We told them I want to, take it. I'll take it as far as I can. But next week we're gonna stay in my region.
Why don't you just create a radius now?
We have one created.
You
But
just
I
said
broke it.
you willy nilly with it. Well, why you break it?
Yeah, because I broke it because I got greedy and I took some runs that were outside the radius because I wanted the money.
How you get greedy?
Well, because it came up and I took it.
You talking about that
Just to
California
excite me.
run?
Yeah, that one. Then I took another one.
Why'd you think that California run was good?
Well, actually, the first one wasn't good. I just
That's
thought
what
the
I'm
money
saying.
was
Like,
good.
where was the greed at?
But because it was third day in, $6,000.
But what about the cost that's associated with that from where you was coming from, the rental, the fuel, the insurance, like everything? You got another person with you. It's two people that's eating.
Right,
Where was?
you done scolded me for that already. That was the first week. That's
No, I
why the
didn't.
second that's why the second one when I took the second one, I was much smarter. That's why I was like, you know what? No, in order to do this, I need X amount of dollars because I knew what my cost per mile was. I knew exactly what I needed to make money. So from that point, every run I was taking, like it was over the road, but it was systematic. I took a run. I took the Nevada run. Then I took the little run from Nevada to California to pick up the run in California. Then I took the run from California to Texas. I got to spend a little time with my mom, right? But each run was worth the money, and actually we made money.
See, I know what your issue is. I just figured it out. You a smart guy in what you do, and you think the smartness that you got in corporate America is going to translate over immediately to trucking.
Not immediately.
Well, that's where your stubbornness came in at. And you learning now the hard way that language over there is not translating over to this.
Yeah.
So I think you should get a radius. Because even what you think is greedy ain't greedy.
What do you mean?
That means like what you did to me, that wasn't enough to be considered greedy. I wouldn't have did that.
Right.
I wouldn't have went all the way over there for that. Because then what'd you get coming back?
Well, I got a nice run coming back too. Ooh.
Well, what'd you get?
We got like a hopper. We got 2,500 going to Texas, and then I
From
got
where? From
another
California?
one.
From California?
Yeah, and then
And it's hold on. Stop.
No, it's just me. It was just me. Oh, you mean the first run?
You said you went from California to Texas with the trainee for $2,500.
Oh, no. The first run. No, the first run. Wasn't good. Wasn't good coming home because we got to run straight back from California
That's
to
what I'm talking about.
Chicago. Yeah, that one wasn't good, and that's
What was
why I
that?
learned this. That was $2,600, which pretty much just paid for my gas to get home.
Okay.
And that's why this time, when I took the Nevada run, I didn't, I was, well, I ain't gonna say smart enough, but I didn't take no straight run back. A high back. I had a little run from here to here, a little run from here to here, that equated to more money to go over the same mileage versus going back for one run.
Man, get you a radius, man. Stop running to the West Coast right now. You ain't. I really don't think you got no business over there. To be honest with
Gotcha.
you ain't even making no money. That's why you ain't making no money. I don't even think you know your cost per mile. Your cost per mile ain't no $1.25. I just listening to you. I ain't really commenting. I'm just listening to your calls and everything. Your cost per mile ain't no $1.25. Why you think your cost per mile $1.25?
Yeah, how much I pay for gas, my rental, my insurance, my expenses.
Your cost per mile ain't no $1.25. Can't be.
It's too high.
It's too low. You in a rental truck. Like, I've been doing this for a long time. Your cost per mile ain't no $1.25.
I rerun my numbers. And that's what I came up with. That's why I haven't been taking any lows lower than $1.40.
Jesus Christ. So even if you think your cost per mile is $1.25, you taking $1.40 loads.
I haven't taken anything lower than $1.40.
But you've taken
That was the
some.
lowest one we had. Yeah, that was the lowest we had.
And you think your cost is $1.25. That's thinking that your cost is $1.25.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
There's no way your cost per mile is $1.25. No way. And I'm telling you that without even doing your books. Just listening to you talk, there's no way it's $1.25. So that's why you not seeing nothing. That's why you saying, oh, you really operating at a loss. You don't even realize it. Your cost per mile is wrong. So if you took something at $1.40, you ran that at a loss. And that what you thought just covered your gas, it didn't even cover your gas. You operating at a loss. You know, $1.25 is very, very low. And with your cost, there's no way your cost is that low. Especially in a rental truck and you paying for miles and you run it like, no, bro. No, it's not. You in the red. There's no way you in the black. Are you in the red?
I mean, I'm not
You gotta be in the red.
in dough.
No, I'm talking about since that's because you already got money. You already have money.
What I'm saying is though, we're paying the bills. For instance, we got money. You know, we are everything that we need to pay, like the gas. I'm paying for gas. I'm paying for gas out of the loads that we're getting. Our insurance is coming up. We have, we got money.
Right, what are you accounting for your variables?
As far as like
your variables, like your variables. Ain't no as far as it's just what they are your variables.
There's like, you mean like breakdowns, like other stuff I have to buy, like
what are your variable expenses that you include into this cost per mile calculation? It's just what it is. It ain't no. It's what it is. What are you including into your CPM for variables?
Actually, I haven't.
All right, so my point.
My
point. That's it. That's all you need to say. Since
I read the vehicle.
Stop. I don't need to hear no more. See, this is why that's why I'm Big Mark. I can tell you your cost per mile. And I listened to you talk, and I said your cost per mile. See how cool I said? Nah, your cost per mile $1.25. Then I say, all right, what's your variables? I haven't. So how's your cost per mile $1.25? You haven't done no variables. So how are you telling me what your cost is when you have no account for what your variable expenses are? You just said I haven't done them.
Well, because I'm including variables are like truck expenses, issues with the truck. Well, since I'm renting a truck,
Listen.
any breakdown issues will be on.
What does breakdown got to do with it? You digging a bigger hole for yourself. Y'all just like making me look real good. Why y'all like? What does breakdowns got to do with your variables? You renting a truck. Remember, y'all say y'all don't have to pay for the maintenance, but that don't got nothing to do with your variables. That I asked you what your variables were. See how I just let you talk, and I chilled, and I just like I know your cost per mile ain't no $1.25. I know I got a range of what your cost per mile is. It ain't no $1.25.
You think about $1.40?
Hell no.
So what other variables would you be including besides?
What you mean? You haven't told me any variables. I asked you what are your variables that you included into your cost per mile. You said I haven't done none. That's all I needed to know. So everything listen to me. Everything that you said prior to that is null and void at this point.
Well, you're referring to things. You said variable things that ain't consistent, other than gas.
Listen,
and
listen to me, if you don't even know what we talking about, that hole you digging is getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Come on, Mr. Corporate at Valvoline.
I guess because most of my other miscellaneous. You're right. Most of my other miscellaneous.
I didn't ask you about miscellaneous. I asked you about your variables.
Anything right? Most of the variables. You're right. I've probably just been paying for myself.
You just been
so
what?
They haven't been included. Like things like anything that comes up, like getting straps or anything that's different. Like so, I haven't included any variables in the. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so if you haven't included any variables, what are we talking about? Listen to me. There's one key variable. You didn't even say that. You told me you didn't include anything. You didn't even give me the most common variables. But you dug the hole once you said I haven't included anything. So how can you tell me your cost per mile is $1? Like the reason why I set the questions up like that is because I want you to tell me the answer that I'm looking for without me asking you directly. Because some people come up here and tell stories. So I have to finesse it in a way where I can get the truth out of a person. I'm really good at it too. Your cost per mile ain't no $1.25. See how I told you that confidently? Because I've been doing this shit a long time. You don't have a cost per mile. You don't have a cost per mile. You don't know what it is. You don't know what your variables are.
I have a cost per mile based on certain factors.
What formula? Okay, what's the formula that you're using?
I gotta find it. Because actually,
what do you got to look for? It's a basic formula.
Expenses. Crap. I'm having a brain fart.
No. Nope.
Yeah, I did write it
down. Nope. Whatever it is wrong. You know why? Because if you can't remember something as simple as X over Y, or like it.
Yeah. I had it in an acronym. I'm just coming up with
an acronym. All right, so here's what we know. You don't have a cost per mile. You don't know what it is. You don't even know what a variable is. You can't come up with a cost per mile without including your variables. One of these variables is really like just common. You don't even know what that is. So
like tolls.
I mean, that's a one, but that's on the lower spectrum. Like, but if you haven't done them, then how can you determine your cost per mile is $1.25? You don't even know what variable is. You don't even know what the formula to come up with your cost per mile.
Because really, because I just included the basic stuff, my rental, my miles, that basic stuff that I was paying for right out the gate.
Basic stuff falls into a category, but guess what? Basic stuff isn't enough. Everything. If they charge you to take a piss, everything. Basic stuff, that's not, nah. But guess what? Those basic things fall into two different categories. What's the other category?
Controllables?
No.
And uncontrollables.
Listen, you're speaking in, I know what you're saying, but what's the trucking terminology?
Variables and
So if you've been operating for 3 weeks, like this stuff should be second, like it should be like this. That's how I know you haven't done it. You can't not know this stuff if you're running consistently. 3 weeks is enough to understand this verbiage and this terminology. The formula is very simple.
You're right.
It's not something that needs to, you don't know the formula. So no, you've been operating at a loss, like I said, the past few weeks. You don't know the formula. You don't have your cost per mile. There's no way your cost per mile is $1.25. So you need to go back to the drawing board and get the formula. Fixed cost, variable cost. What's your fixed cost?
Well, essentially, that's all I got is a fixed cost because that's all I.
So what are they?
Work was my
What's your fixed cost?
Gas, my rental, my mileage.
Hold on, stop. That's not a fixed cost. How can fuel be fixed?
Because I did it as a basic average of what I was going to spend every week.
How can fuel be fixed? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
The miles are different.
Okay, so how is that a fixed cost?
It's not.
But you just said it was. So you digging a bigger hole. Now we get into the root of the issue. But you the guy who wanted to put a drive out there. You can't even tell me what it's costing you to operate. So how can you even determine what you should be paying somebody? So what's your fixed cost? See, now you making me, I didn't want to go there because I gotta, like, I'm chill. I just came on here to kick it, maybe answer some. But see, now I gotta put my hat on, my professor hat on, man. Why are you gonna make me do this? What's your fixed cost, man?
My insurance and my weekly rental.
What, you got any other fixed costs?
I got my low board payments, post office box, any subscriptions, all that jazz.
Now, be honest. Have you included all that? Did you include that into your CPM? No, you didn't.
I didn't. No.
Okay. Where you parked the truck at?
I parked the truck out back. Here.
At home? Here? At home?
Yeah.
All right. So now let's go over the variables.
Variables. We can talk about the tow, gas, mileage. If I get a ticket.
What else?
Anything I gotta buy on the road.
What else?
I gotta worry about
how you get your money? How you get your money? How you get your money?
Factoring.
You didn't include that neither, did you? Okay, you include none of this. So how is your cost per mile if you're not including all the fixed and all the variables? How are you telling me your CPM is $1.25. Because I know ain't no good way in hell your CPM $1.25. I didn't even have to do your cost per mile to know that because I'm just that tenured. I knew when you told me way early in this conversation that your cost per mile was $1.25 that it wasn't. I just let you talk because I just need to build up a case so that we can get to this point. Because I got to make it entertaining. I got to have the entertain. If I would have just jumped right to it soon, then the build up, I had to let it build up. I know how to put on a good show, man. I know how to put on the show, man. So I had to let it build up. I kept a straight face too, didn't I? I kept that poker face on, didn't I? I said, but in my head, I'm like, this motherfucker don't know what the fuck his cost per mile is.
Back to the drawing board.
Oh yeah. You been watching me how long? You must have been paying attention. You was a C student in school?
I got by.
See, getting by ain't good enough, pimp.
No, it ain't.
It ain't good enough. Come on, man. You got too much gray and too. I expect this out of a YN. I don't expect this out of a OG. You ain't an OG in trucking. You an OG in life. Come on, man. Come on. So now what we finna do now, man? Man, you done let me down. You done upset me.
Well, we finna go back to the drawing board and because keeping it real. My wife already working on all everything that we done spent, putting it all into QuickBooks so we can figure out. So I'm already getting the idea of that it's off. But I had to be honest with you. You asked me, I wasn't gonna bullshit you. I was gonna tell you what it was, and that's why I've been operating off of.
Look, so this is what you do: cost, fixed cost, variable cost. I got a whole video on cost per mile that's real simplistic. It's less than 2 minutes.
I know. I actually watched it and actually took notes on it. It's just in my other book in the truck. I really wanted to run out and grab it.
All right. So if you watched and took notes, why you didn't apply it?
I did. I just didn't apply it fully. I did the quick version.
The quick version? I didn't do a quick version.
Because essentially what I did was I figured out what it would cost me to run the truck, not run the business.
What? You didn't do it. No. That what you did wasn't even essentially to run the truck. Because you didn't do it. That what you said didn't make no sense. Because that's not what you did to essentially run the business. Because
the numbers I figured out were like how much would if I want to run a truck X amount of miles, gas would be about this. The truck rental was X amount of broken down like this is how much we would need to cover these expenses, not all the expenses.
You've been running. What's today's date? You a week away from a month. So you've been running 3 weeks. So you have data, but you're guessing.
Yeah. No, I'm not guessing. I'm using the data that we have. What I'm saying is when we had this, when you asked me, I was using I gave you the number that I had been operating off of. However, looking at the numbers my wife is putting out, I'm seeing some different numbers and knowing I need to fix it. But when you asked me, I had to give you what I had been operating off of.
But you weren't operating off those numbers because those aren't your numbers. And what you considered yourself operating off didn't even include all the variable and fixed expenses.
You're right.
So you weren't operating off nothing. You just out there doing something. You just out there doing
Pretty
something.
much.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. You can't we're not gonna dress this shit up. Nah, man, I don't expect that. I don't expect that out of no OG. Man, you making us look bad. Come on now. Damn, man. Shit.
You tweaking.
Damn, man. Is all your expenses streamlined?
Pretty much. We got everything streamlined, right, babe? Yeah, everything for the most part is going right to in the QuickBooks.
And but I'm talking about one account.
No.
Well, what is it going into?
Yeah, everything is going into our business. So everything goes into our business account.
So all the revenue comes into this one account.
Yep.
And then all your expenses, anything you spend comes out of that one account, and y'all got multitude of different accounts.
Well, right now we got multiple accounts that stuff came out of, but we're starting moving forward with everything will be paid for with one card.
So this is what I need you to do.
Out of one account.
When do you leave to go back over the road?
Tuesday.
So tomorrow you need to pull all your statements. And you need to do your cost per mile.
And she got all that in QuickBooks, all the receipts, everything we done spent already in QuickBooks.
Well, if you got it all in QuickBooks, why you ain't did your cost per mile? QuickBooks ain't gonna give you a cost per mile, man.
No, she's not. But what I'm saying is, she literally just finished getting all that stuff put in.
It don't matter how I started off. You have to do this. You picking loads. You telling me you don't like. How are you determining which load to take if you don't know what it's costing you to operate?
Yeah, right. I was just doing based off gas.
You telling me right, gas. So you telling me, and you in a rental truck.
Gas mileage and rental, yeah.
You picking lows at $1.40 a mile, like your cost per mile 80, 90 cents. Your cost per mile is over $1.40, but you running $1.40 loads. So you operating at a loss.
Makes sense.
So man, you need to go ahead and do your cost per mile all day tomorrow. You need to get it together. I don't even know what you running. What you running Tuesday? You already booked that. What's that? How much that paying?
It's 520 miles. It's paying $1,100.
What's the rate? I'm doing it in my head.
Oh,
per mile.
It was $1.90.
You said 550. All right. So tomorrow you need to do your cost per mile, man. All day. You need to get up in the morning and pull out all your statements and do it. You know the formula, right?
Fixed cost, variable cost.
Nope. What's the formula?
I don't know the formula because I don't have it in front of me.
It's an easy formula, because that means you never did it. Cost divided by what?
Cost divided by expenses?
How is cost divided by expenses if the cost is the expense? You never did it. You can't tell me whatever you said you did, you never did that. Whatever it is that you said you did, you never did that. And if whatever that was, it wasn't right. Cost divided by what?
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Man, god damn.
You tweaking.
No, cost off.
Y'all killing me with this. Cost divided by what?
Revenue.
Cost divided by revenue?
I did it from the time of profit. I don't know. Net.
Hit the like button.
Profit.
Come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Post notifications. Man, we gotta get this before you leave. I ain't letting you leave until you figure it out.
Maybe you go to the car. So cost divided by
What you gotta go to the car for?
no,
X
I'm trying to
divided by
search my
Y. X divided by Y equals Z. What does X represent? Cost. What does Y represent?
your net.
How do you divide cost by net? How is that going to give you your cost per mile? Cost per mile.
Oh shit! I'm tripping. Cost divided by your miles.
By your miles, what?
Cost divided by your miles equals
What miles? What's significant about the miles?
Miles per mile per week?
Miles driven.
Yeah.
Ain't
Cost
no
divided by
yeah.
miles driven gives you.
Hey,
I mean, but seriously, I couldn't remember, but that's how I came up with the $1.25.
you a
Out how much
goddamn
my
lie.
cost was.
You a motherfucking lie. Yeah, see, I was being nice to you. I can't be nice to you anymore. You a goddamn lie. Cause you know why?
Mark,
you already said ain't no mark. Ain't no mark.
I just added up the wrong cost.
You didn't add up nothing. That means you didn't do it.
My rental.
That ain't got shit to do
I didn't
with
do
it.
it all.
So don't make excuses. No. And you know what I don't like about you? You're making excuses.
You're right.
What you talking about? You just didn't do it all. That means it's not right. So that means that's not your cost per mile.
I know it wasn't right. I know it wasn't right now, but I'm telling you how I came up with the number. I came up with the number by adding up those particular things, dividing by how many miles, and I came up with that number.
So this is what I want you to do. I want to know your fixed cost per mile. I want to know your variable cost per mile, and I want to know your total cost per mile. The hell you talking about? Cost divided by revenue. The hell?
I can't give it to you right now, but next time you talk, you'll be able to get them.
Man, you ain't calling back no more. You ain't gonna never call back. You gonna call. You gonna be watching from the shadows. You ain't calling back. I ain't gonna never see you no more.
Dude, I'll be talking to you like Tuesday night on the way to Pennsylvania.
How you gonna be talking to me to Tuesday night? Who says I'm gonna be streaming Tuesday night?
I'm just saying, whatever night you gonna be streaming.
You ain't in my Discord. You ain't in my Discord. Because if you was in my Discord, you wouldn't be up here sounding like this. Talking about cost divided by revenue. God damn it, cost per mile. You talking about cost divided by net. Talk about my cost per mile is $1.25. And you renting a truck, paying for miles, all this goofy stuff. Ain't no way in hell. I got guys that's riding around in 04s. They cost per mile is that. So how your cost per mile that?
That's it.
I got guys riding around in paid off equipment that's recouped. That's near their cost per mile. How the hell your cost per mile that? In a rental truck.
You left out
a lot of shit. All right. So man, we need to go back. You need to go back to the beginning. You need to calculate your cost per mile. Man, come on. And stop taking shortcuts. Talking about you hired a driver the first week and all this, man. The last thing you need to be thinking about is putting the driver in the truck for a year. You got a lot to learn. Now you in your head, you like, man, Mark, you could have did this at the beginning. No, I couldn't. I had to let it sizzle and cook so I can get the entertainment aspect of it. Now it's the entertainment. You dig what I'm saying? I had to let it build up. Man, don't think about no driver. You need to be in the truck for a year. Don't come out of the truck ever for a year. Learn everything. Learn your cost per mile. Stop running to California. What you doing all the way over in California for? Why are you in California? Man, that shit wasn't paying nothing. Paying a lot for gas, taking a loss, looking at a number, oh, $4,000. This is so much money. Yeah, okay. Hit the road and see how much it costs you to get there and get back. You took a loss coming back. Them little pennies that you might have made on the way there, you lost that on the comeback. The hell you doing in California?
Not no more.
You should have never been there in the first place. How you leaving Milwaukee on the new in California? You in Milwaukee. You in you Chicago, Indianapolis, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Like, why are you way over there somewhere? What are you doing over there? What's over there? Talk about something. Man, it was just greedy. And remember when that was the first thing you said? I'm saying, how is that greedy? Because when you said it, I knew you did it at a loss. I know people in the audience was like, they wasn't following because I know when people following, when the chat rate is really going, the chat rate stopped because people was trying to wait. What is Mark talking about? He ain't took a L yet, so he got something up his sleeve. See, I was already calculating. I told you I was lazy, and man, I don't feel like calculating. I was calculating like a motherfucker. My brain was computing. Like Cameron, I get computers puting. I was puting. I was puting in my head. And I was acting like I wasn't. I said, nah, you wasn't no good. Yeah, pimp. You upside down right now. You got to start over from the beginning. So this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. I'm finna tell you what I want you to do, and then I'm gonna let you go on because I know right now you like, damn, this man came up here and fucked me up. This is what I need you to do. Go to your car, because since everything is in your car, since it's in your car, go to your car and get your notebook, right? Or you can remember this formula: cost divided by miles driven. It's not something that's like you gotta just put it there. Like, but I want you to do it the long way. You a OG. Remember, we had to do the shit the long way. I want you to do your fixed cost per mile. So fixed cost divided by miles driven, right? Then I want you to do variable cost divided by miles driven. And then that total, because I want to know what each one is, and then add the two together for your total fixed cost. I want you to do it the long way. Out here making tweaking. What's wrong with you, man? Man, you supposed to be a player. What else you got for me, big dog? What else you got? Because I know you ain't got no more. You probably upset. Wifey in the background, like I told you. I told you. She in the background. I told you.
On my life. On my life.
On her life. She even did like that. She gang banging and everything. She from the crib. She from Chicago too. She ain't from Chicago? Okay. On her life. She put it on her life. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Ooh, you go. All right, man. I guess you probably want to. Huh? Oh, man, you already know how I'm going to give it up to you. You know how I'm going to give it up to you. Anything else you got for me now? I'm hearing you like I'm hearing your wife clearer than I'm hearing you. I hear her coughing all in the mic. The mic done flipped over to her mouthpiece or her ear or something. All right, man, I'm just going to let you go, man. Go on. All right, man. Peace. All right, later. Bye.